Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I hope you guys are ready to follow me through the journey across the technology trends that can apply to travel. My name is Sara Pavan. I represent Amadeus Venture, which is a fund that started in 2013 with the objective to invest in a minority equity stake of companies that have ideas, innovative ideas that can apply to the travel sectors. And I'm here today to share our vision on these topics. So let me start by saying that actually it is an extremely interesting time now to be in the technology business. And this is because the rate of adoption of technology is speeding up at a very, very fast. So actually the speed of development of some of those technologies that are part of our everyday life is growing very quickly. And it's very interesting to see how we move along the line. And actually, this summer, looking at people that are a little bit younger than me, I felt actually I wanted to add another element to this, which is the Pokemon Go. A Pokemon Go, I'm not sure if any of you is familiar with it. For sure, yes, because you have heard about it. It became almost a buzzword at a point. But the Pokemon Go is a phenomenon that started in July this year. And in only 30 days, it reached the same audience that the fixed phone line did in 75 years. So you can just imagine how rapidly things are moving. And this is actually the world we are living in. When there is a concept or an idea that catches the imagination of people, then no one can stop it. There is no geography, no location that can stop it. So it's extremely important to be on top of the technology trends before they actually even become a mainstream, because otherwise it can be too late. These are some of the trends that, we are going to discuss today that we believe will have an impact in the travel industry. Some of them are closer to our core industry. Some others have been there for a few years now. But what is interesting is that now they're taking a different shift. So this is why we continue to monitor them very, very closely. Let me start with personalization. I'm sure you've all heard talking about these words many times before. Personalization is not just about offering a service that someone wants. It is more than that. It is servicing it and giving it to people in the way they want it, when they want it, and actually across the device they want. Because people today want to be seen as individuals that receive informations and offers based on their preferences. They want to live experience, not just get services. Amazon, I think, is the gold star in the field of personalization. If you've used Amazon before, I'm sure you all have noticed their ability to suggest you what you should buy based on what you've bought before or what you've been looking for. And this is an extremely powerful concept. Just imagine that 38% of the revenue from Amazon is coming through those recommendations, which tells us actually that it is important to push this recommendation not only at the right time, but it's important to make sure that those recommendations takes into consideration people past behavior, people preferences, people needs. Personalization in travel is quite important, and we see this coming, even though we realize that there is still a long way to go compared to other sectors like banking or retailing. We see more travel operators looking for a new creative way and efficient way to engage with their customers. And we in Amadeus are putting, and have been putting actually for a while, a lot of emphasis on personalization. So we have developed several initiatives from in-house development of a solution that actually helps enhance profile capabilities to understand better the customer behaviors and the customer segments, and then push accordingly the right offer to them. But also we've been working on partnership with third-party companies, startups, that are already working in this field. For instance, let me mention Allset, which is a company that is part of our portfolio of investment that provides a personalization engine focused on hotels, so that provides hotel recommendation. So definitely personalization, something that we're going to keep a close eye on, because we believe that it's really going to drive customers' loyalty and business. The second trend I'm moving on is collaborative economy. Collaborative economy has been there for a few years now. We all know homes that turns to hotel. We all have seen tours and activities that are organized by local people with the intent to give a local touch to the experience. We have seen cars turning into ride services and even kitchen becoming restaurants. But what is interesting to see now, and the reason why we still keep a very strong focus on collaborative economy, is that we see those companies, all those initiatives keep on growing. They keep on being very, very successful. Uber is valuated today 68 billion. Airbnb, 26 billion. And they're still raising money. People are still betting on those companies. And it's interesting as well to notice that they're actually taking a different shift. They start targeting Uber, Airbnb, they start targeting a different customer segment. For instance, they're approaching more now business traveler, which is something that was not really their focus at the beginning. Or they're expanding their business to adjacent areas, like, for instance, in the case of Uber, they're looking at logistics or e-commerce. Or in the case of Airbnb, they're trying to bring in the dimension linked to tour and activities or to urban planning. So we see that those are concepts that are here to stay for a little bit more, for a little bit longer, and are actually continuously impacting our industry in different ways. So definitely very important to keep a close eye on it. Early March this year, a very strong breakthrough into technology, if we can say like this. It is the first time that a program built by DeepMind, a company owned now today by Google, has defeated the world champion in the Go game. So this little the sad man in the pictures is actually the world champion of this game. And the reason why this is considered a milestone is because the Go game is supposed to be very sophisticated, a lot more than the traditional chess game. And for a computer to be able to do that, it was not only possible to know all the winning combination, but he had to become smarter. He had to become closer to the human brain and actually predict the winning pattern in order to make the right move at the right time without delays. And so, obviously, this learning acceleration applies way beyond just the Go game, and it can be exported today in any sort of machine learning opportunities. And we see a lot more focus now placed into having computer understanding more and more the human language, basically to give us the possibility in few years, if not now, actually already, to interact with a computer in the same way we would do with another human being. But so then, why is it important for computer to understand the human language? Just look at the graph on the left side of the screen. As you can see, the messaging application have already overpassed the social network application in terms of monthly active user. Today, 3 billion of people worldwide are sending messages and emojis and nice faces to their families and friends. I'm sure actually I'm spotting some of you doing this right now in front of me. And so this is changing a little bit the game, and it's becoming actually a very good way for company to start engaging and communicating with their customers, becoming just one of the many contacts that you have in your chat application without the worry of thinking, the people need to download my app, or what happens if they delete my app? And sometimes even consuming data against those messaging applications while roaming. So we see that computer then taking over this type of conversation on behalf of the corporation is the obvious move. It makes completely sense. In April this year, Facebook opened up launched their messaging platform, giving people the possibility to send and receive messages through automated bots. Here you can see the attempt of KLM, or the early showcase of how those automated bots work that was done by KLM. And then later on we have seen other providers in the travel industry are replicating a little bit the same. Booking.com creating a chat in order to communicate with their customers and bridging the gap of languages. And we in Amadeus as well are putting a lot of emphasis on intelligent messages, and we have a lot of initiative ongoing to actually improve on this area and to make sure that we are there at the moment. So for instance, from the hotel IT side, New Market, which is the company that, Amadeus company in Boston, has closed a partnership with the Zingle, a startup that helps handle customer services via the chat. So basically, through the integration of the Zingle functionality or engine into our API, customers are able to send a request to the chat, and then this request would be automatically dispatched to the right customer support team within the hotel. So very efficient, very interactive, very close relationship with the customers. At the same time, we're also working very closely with an Israeli company called Avature that to build a virtual travel assistant via chat. Avature is a company that we have invested in at the end of 2014, and they provide an artificial intelligence engine that is learning based on what people ask and what type of information people share around travel. So they're really focused on travels. And with them, we are working very closely with our airline department team, with our corporate team, with our travel agency teams to make sure that we can deliver this chat possibility and this virtual travel agency assistant to our customer today. Moving on to virtual and augmented reality. I'm sure you have seen many times those glasses here in the screen. You probably wear it yourself. You know about Google Glasses, Microsoft HoloLenses. Those are all technologies that are linked to a phenomenon that is picking up very quickly and is actually expected to reach 150 billion in the next feature. Let's say that, let me just give you a glimpse of what virtual reality is, showing you this video. So quite impressive, actually, quite impressive. This video was made by a startup based in Florida called Magic Leap. Probably you have heard about it. It's actually considered one of the world's most secretive startups at the moment. And just think that these guys, in only 2 years, have been raising 1.4 billion from the giant in the industry, from Google Venture, the Chinese Alibaba, among others. And right now, no one knows exactly what they are working on at the moment, but they have claimed that they are going to come up with a new type of reality, with new lenses, with new system that we haven't seen before. So this to tell us that even though virtual reality is not a mass phenomenon, that is, we don't see it like applied everywhere, but it is getting there. It's becoming one of the powerful ways to communicate with our customers. And in travel, we have had already some early adopter of this technology. We have seen airline, for instance, showing their cabin class through the virtual reality glasses to their customers, or for instance, using this technology to promote a specific location in order to, foster the tourism. So things are coming, and we realize that it's becoming one of the essential toolkit to communicate and engage with customers. We move to the Internet of Things. Internet of Things, which is, again, something that we have heard before, but that is going to remain there for many years to come. It's not just mobile. It's a lot more. It's the products we touch, what we consume, the building we live in, the car that we use. all things that are connected to internet and interconnected to each other that actually gives us the possibility to see, hear, feel a lot more than what we were able to do before. And this actually is bringing a great benefits to us because it is enabling us to control and prevent situations. With people aging and with the cost of healthcare that is skyrocketing in some countries, imagine the ability and the benefits that just a single sensor would bring if you are able to prevent an heart attack before it's happening. Or in the travel sector, specifically to us, just think that 10% of the flight delays today are due to unplanned maintenance of the aircraft. And this is causing like 8 billion in terms of cost for the airline industry worldwide. So if through sensor we are able to detect those malfunctioning, let's say, even before the human being seeing it, and we're able to recover them before they happen, a lot of efficiency are coming out of that, and we are going to improve definitely like the overall experience. Yeah, Internet of Things is also helping us, obviously, like to find things, and actually this is the good example that I like to bring in, the smart luggage. I'm sure you've also seen it. Smart luggage is like one of the products that is produced by one of the company in our portfolio of investment, and basically they have tested their idea in the crowdfunding space, and in just 2 hours they've been able to raise $50,000. So this to tell you that people realize and see the benefits of these trends, and actually realize that things and informations are becoming intelligent, and they are actually coming to us even before we need them and before we are looking for them. So definitely like something very, very powerful. And finally, the last trend that I want to mention today is blockchain, which by many is considered actually to be one of the key drivers of the next industrial revolution to come. So think of blockchain as a big database, a huge network that recognizes ownership and value, and that gives access to all the people that have access to the network, allows them to view what is in it and take part of it. And basically, this network is updated and verified only through the consensus of all the parts that are part of the network. So anytime a new element is added, in order to be altered or modified, you need to have the full consensus among the network part of the blockchain. So a completely disruptive concept that is coming in. When you talk about blockchain, people immediately think about Bitcoin, which is the virtual currency, but it's a lot more than that. Blockchain is behind the authentication of digital signature or the digital identity, about the smart contracting, about the authentication of certain documents. Basically, blockchain is aiming at touching, yes, all the different areas that today are regulated by third-party entity, removing these external layers. In travel, blockchain will help us definitely bring transparency in terms of payment within the intermediaries and suppliers, help us reach automatic settlement, use loyalty as a way to pay actually our transaction, and especially significantly prevent fraud. And actually, this is the elements that we believe will be the driver of bringing blockchain into the travel industry. So actually, this is a little bit an overview of the main trends we see, and you can see that things are moving very rapidly. So company needs to be innovative, agile, and flexible in order to adapt those changes. And in Amadeus, we have several initiatives to foster innovation, both internally and externally. Amadeus Venture is one of the vehicle of innovation that we're using, which is actually helping us to leverage external technologies and that can help us bring idea very quickly to the market. And through a very close collaboration with the startup ecosystem, we are able, on the one hand, to see what is happening outside, to test new ideas, to test new business model, to have early access to technologies. And on the other side, we give the opportunity to startup to gain some market know-how on the travel space, to leverage on our presence in order to speed up their internationalization, to actually get access to our customer base, and last but not least, obviously, get the funding that they need to sustain their growth. Amadeus Venture has been there since 2013. We have completed today 7 investments in different areas of the industries, driven by actually what technology is telling us, but the changes that technology is telling us. And we know that this is an ongoing journey, that we need to continue be engaged on innovation, that we need to make sure that innovation never becomes just a trendy tattoo that applies to our brand image, but we need to make sure that we continue looking for new ideas, new technologies that can lead to more meaningful experience and bring a value added to our customers. And with this, I'll finish my presentation, and I thank you very much.
Please, Sara, please. Grazie mille.
Grazie.
Pleasure having you, Sara. Thank you very much for your insights.